Bacon? Bacon? Small bacon.
Hey, welcome to another edition of jayTizzle, where we all try to be just a little better at the game of Clash of Clans. I got a Into the Trench video for you, episode 3. We're going to go over and visit Ragefinity, and they have a Town Hall 10 there, jayTizzle, that did an attack that's pretty interesting in terms of the nuances he used, as well as he didn't actually get a 3-star. So for you 3-star people out there, shut the video off now. But if you want to learn something about, like, well, how could he have fixed it, or maybe what this weird thing he did was, well, take a look. It's only 3 minutes of your life. The name of the attack that we use is GoK, HQ flanks, comma, Mass Witch. That means that we're going to have the Golem and a King take out one side, one flank of the attack, and basically the mortar and the AoE type 8 defenses on that side. And then the healer mass following a queen, kind of a mortal queen kind of feel, on the other side doing the same thing, and then the witches up the middle. That's what the name is. Typical JTJ stuff, we name it by the phases. The mix, if you want to try to replicate it, looks like this. So basically each flanking team gets a little wizard support, has some wall breaker support, and that's about it. And then you use 2 jumps to get to the mid. You can tweak the spells depending on the actual combination of Inferno Towers and such, but this is the basic feel that you could begin with anyway. So with that said, let's take a look at the attack and kind of talk through how it played out. Okay, so here's the attack. Let's go forward to where we can see the base. And there it is, all its glory. And with the Mass Witch type attacks, I mean, usually what you'd be seeing that makes one thing that makes this unique is that it'd be more of a KHC2 flanks feeling, meaning, you know, you'd have a king and a golem here, and a queen and a golem here, and they'd be driving in to take out the AoE defenses, because that's what you're worried about when you're throwing Mass Witch. And you're doing Mass Witch because you've got this single eye tower in the backside. So you figure, well, I can freeze out this Inferno on the front side that's multi, witches roll over it, and then really we're on to the races, right? It is a Town Hall 10.1, as we would say, an entry level. So you'd think he could 3-star it. And so that's really the question, is why didn't it happen? Because he ends up being short by 1. And so one of the nuances that he did, right or wrong, is he used, I think it's interesting though, is that he used this healer combo instead of the Golem in front of the queen. He used healers, and I think that's where he made the mistake. Not so much in using healers, but he used too many. Notice how he's got almost 5 there, and as you watch the attack, you'll see that he has a lot less damage hitting the queen than that. The queen never really goes much below 100%. So that's one of the first things I'll take a look at. But let's push play and advance a little bit, kind of see it flow out. So he's going to trigger the CC to start. And, you know, that's a little nerve-wracking with Mass Witch, because, you know, if that CC stays live long enough to get teeth into your witches, that's a problem. So triggering it and killing it outside is okay, but I've seen Mass Witch also handle CC, you know, using the poison in the walls there in the gap. But there goes the king with his golem to take out the mortar and the wall breakers behind it. And then here comes this mass immortal queenish feeling on the other flank with the wall breakers coming in and driving in from there. So it's looking pretty good. I mean, so let's pause again. But notice how the queen herself is never below 100%. So again, I don't think you, and you'll notice from the mix I gave, I was less. I was at 4, I think. But like Queen Walk, you'll sometimes see Queen Walks that are actually taking more damage than this one's putting up. This base is putting up to where the Queen's going to go. The Queen Walk might be at 3 or 4 healers. So the less is better. And that will free up, he could have used those slots, as I show in the mix, for a reserve of wizards at the end, which could have helped him win the attack. But the overall flow beyond it here, though, isn't looking too bad. Let's move in 2 jumps to the mid. He rages the mid, freezes the first eye tower. Pretty standard stuff. Here's another interesting thing that he did, though. Hold on, let's pause again. So notice the final spell he's carrying is a freeze. And the complexity of the Mass Witch, or the big question with the Mass Witch, is how do you get your mass out of the center and into where it's finally at? So I don't have the right answer. I think that some people like to rage it and blow through the wall. I don't think that's the perfect answer. Other people take a third jump and will jump away from the risk. So if you've got if the queen's more forward than the king, then you jump in with the queen because she'll protect you guys from the other stuff, and then roll across the side. So you basically jump to the side where your flanking team penetrated the most, or is penetrating the most. Try to get them back together. Whatever you can think about and play with it, but in his case, he tries to freeze out this wizard tower you'll see here, and just watch how I'm pretty sure that's not the answer. So let's go ahead and hit play again, and you can kind of watch as he's flowing. So his king's over there. He's got some witches pushing this flank here, and he freezes it. But see how it doesn't really. It bought him maybe 2 or 3 seconds of time, but it's still he's getting flanked over here, right there. That's a lot of damage. Basically, he lost his whole witch crew from that. So I don't know if it would have been better to jump, because they would have responded to that and moved across, or what. But okay, so now we're coming to the last part that I think was a question mark for him. So see, he's pretty close. This is the actual time to finish, because he's going to run out of time for the loss. And you can see here that basically with 5 seconds to go, he's got 1, 2, 3 buildings here, and a cannon and a thing, right? So if he would have held, instead of 5 witches, drop 2, which would give him 24 slots, he could have carried 6 more wizards in reserve, and held those to right about when his troops were, the queen was here. He could have dropped 1 here, and it would have wandered over and done these in that timing, and then held these, maybe even 2 here, 1 there and 1 there, and then you'd have the 4 as soon as it gets to here, and he would drove that. So he would have had it with that slight tweak, because I don't think his queen would have died with 2 less healers. Way too many healers alive right now. It's clearly not a good amount. So let's finish it out and take the moment of sadness with jayTizzle. He's probably pretty sad about this. Anyway, hope it helps. I think it's an interesting attack in terms of using the healers for the queen. If there's not a lot of, if the eye tower is set back, I think is the key that I'd be looking for, because then, or ADs are set back to where you can see the healing crew driving a lot further, because usually a golem would take you to about here before it die off, right? And then your queen's on its own. So if you think you can have pretty unmolested queen and healer action all through here, see how his healers were all the way over here, so he walked all the way. So that was a good investment. It was the right idea. So watch for that, where you have a pathing for the queen where the healer's not going to get impressed on the backside. So that's, in that case, 3 healers, extra 12 slots, is probably a little better than a golem. Take us where it's worth. Good luck, guys.
Don't touch that, Larry.
Touch it, Larry. You know you want to.
Larry, don't touch
Larry,
that.
do it. Do it, Larry.
Larry!
Yes! Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life, Larry.
What'd I
Good
just
job,
say, Larry?
Larry. Good job.